new public health directive goes into effect in King County, people are urged to wear face masks when they're out in public. While it won't be enforced, businesses can choose to turn people away if they aren't wearing one. The directive does apply to anyone riding King County Metro buses. Health officials recommend using cloth face masks, scarves, or bandanas. That way, medical grade masks can be safe for healthcare workers or others who work in high-risk settings. Taking a live look at SeaTac Airport, where starting today, face masks will be required for all visitors, passengers, and workers. Another change could be coming as airlines urge the TSA to start checking temperatures. SeaTac wants to be the next airport to implement the measure. King 5's Ted Land reports.
Photo ID, boarding pass, fever? Temperature checks could soon become part of the security routine at some U.S. airports. Airlines for America, an industry group, is urging the TSA to start checking passengers' body temps as an extra layer of protection for other travelers and airline employees. The Wall Street Journal reports the TSA will start checking temperatures at roughly a dozen U.S. airports as soon as this week. A Port of Seattle spokesperson tells me SeaTac has volunteered to be part of the temperature check program. But when I asked the TSA about it, they told me no decision has been made. Payne Field in Everett is using a heat-sensing camera that automatically detects passengers' temperatures as they pass by. There's already some pushback on temperature screenings. Representative Benny Thompson, chairman of the Committee on Homeland Security, said in a statement, quote, "The health and security of our transportation security officers have already been put at great risk the past few months. The administration should not put these frontline workers in further danger in order to provide passengers a potential false sense of safety." For now, masks will become the norm. Starting Monday, anyone inside SeaTac will be required to wear a face covering. Many airlines are already requiring masks for passengers on flights. They hope these new precautions will regain the confidence of flyers and get the industry moving again. Ted Land, King 5 News.
Also starting today, some major changes to Uber. Drivers and riders will need to wear masks. Drivers will also be required to take a selfie before accepting a booking to prove that they are wearing a mask. Riders will have to complete a checklist to verify they've taken measures to prevent COVID-19, and they're only allowed to sit in the back seat.
Dental offices will be allowed to reopen starting at noon today, but some dental hygienists tell our Natalie Swaby they have concerns about reopening.
During Inslee's Stay Home, Stay Healthy order, dental offices are considered an essential business, but they've been restricted for urgent visits only. Now the offices are getting ready to reopen and resume a full scope of care. Dental hygienists asking for anonymity out of fear of losing their jobs emailed their concerns. One pointed out coronavirus can linger in the air for as long as 3 hours. How then can you protect the patient, she wrote. Another email said dentists are moving forward with opening offices with short supply of masks, asking staff to reuse masks. This email ended with the words, "scared to go back to work."
What about hygienists who just say they don't think it's safe yet?
Jennifer Zabarschek, president of the Washington Dental Hygienist Association, says she's heard from dental hygienists who say their offices are ready, and from others who say they're nowhere close and haven't even had meetings about it.
So she's not aware of what the protocols are going to be, what type of PPE is going to be provided, or how she's expected to complete the treatment for the patients.
When dental offices do reopen, you could see plexiglass protecting the front counter and the era of the waiting room over. Instead, you'd wait outside until the office is ready to see you. Temperature checks and coronavirus tests for patients before the appointment are also being discussed. The urgent concern is that there's not enough personal protective equipment.
And that it's not of the level that's needed for the types of procedures that we do that create aerosols. And as we know, with this virus, it can be passed through aerosols and droplets.
That's why some dental hygienists say they want to hold off on reopening and are desperately seeking direction on the safest path forward. In addition to making sure there's enough PPE, the American Dental Association says reopening dental offices needs to be a team approach with lots of communication. In Seattle, Natalie Swaby, King 5 News.
Also opening today, the Emerald Queen Casino in Fife will reopen at 10 o'clock this morning. The Puyallup Tribal Council says it will limit the number of people inside the casino to 30% capacity. It's also checking temperatures of those entering the casino and requiring everyone to wear a mask. The tribe expects staff and guests to maintain social distancing. We're learning the Secret Service is now investigating fake unemployment claims across the country, including here in Washington. Agents discovered that a Nigerian crime ring was able to take advantage of weak security measures within our state's unemployment system. The Secret Service says the primary target was Washington, but the crooks also hit 6 other states. The state discovered it had paid out more than $1.5 million to imposters just last month. The U.S. Attorney, Brian Moran, now points out chasing these reprehensible criminals is just one part of the equation. The other part is for the state to address and fix vulnerabilities in their system. Washington halted payments for 2 days last week to stem the flow of these fake claims.